There's something about driving alone, a different kind of drive, the quieter kind, the kind when everything fades into background and something deeper begins to surface. Music fades away, the phone rests on the side seat, upside down, silent. Eyes remain forward, faces pass by unnoticed. The road stretches endless, and somewhere in that silence, I begin to hear myself. I start to feel that these drives carry a kind of meditation within them, a strange, heavy calm. But when the world around me softens, something within me grows louder. There were times when I would fill that silence with the voices in the background. People I admire, people I often listen to, people who speak with clarity, purpose, and conviction. David Baer, Robert Dial, Jay Shetty. And from here, voices like Ravish Kumar, bringing a grounded sense of reality. Raj Shamani speaking about books, business, and the discipline behind building something meaningful. There is a pattern in all of them, a quiet persistence, a refusal to step away from what they choose. Today at gym, I heard something from Rob. He stood beside Jay Shetty speaking to the room, speaking in an episode of Jay Shetty's podcast. And his words stayed with me, a simple truth. You already know the path. You already understand what changes everything in your life. Yet something inside you holds you back. And when you begin, you drift. You return to what feels familiar. That thought followed me into the car. And during that drive to home, it stayed, circling, repeating, until it settled into something heavier. I have lived that pattern, promises made quietly and then forgotten just as quietly. A kind of distance from my own words, and somewhere along the way, trust within myself began to fade. How does one expect trust from the world when even the self feels uncertain? Even this time, this drive, it was meant to belong to silence, to reflection, yet even here, distraction finds their way in. Something always fills the space. Something always keeps the deeper thoughts waiting. And when there's a moment like this, right now, it's around 12 am, April 24, 2026. I'm recording this. A commitment once made. 2 episodes every week. And here I am, late again, and maybe skipped a little episode or two. Time slipping through small habits, scrolling, games, moments that pass without leaving anything behind. They carry ease and yet leave a quiet emptiness afterwards. This episode began as something about driving, yet maybe this is what driving reveals. It opens doors to the thoughts that remain hidden during the rush of day. It brings forward things that sit quietly in the background waiting. When I drive now, I lean into the silence. Windows closed, music gone, and sometimes even AirPods in place just to soften the world further. And slowly, thoughts rise. The kind that carry weight, the kind that ask questions without urgency, and yet demand honesty. These drives have shown me things, regrets more than I expected, moments that deserved more presence, time that slipped away unnoticed, people whose value became clear only after the distance grew. And with that realization, a certain stillness follows. The past stays where it is, untouched, unchanged. Yet something else begins to take shape, a quiet awareness. The future feels closer than it once did, and there is a desire to reach it differently, with less weight, with fewer unfinished promises, with a sense of peace that feels earned. Maybe this understanding came late. Maybe it always arrives this way. There's something deeper. Humans can barely understand. Realization often walks in it quietly, and after something meaningful fades away. So if you find yourself traveling, driving, sitting by the window in a bus, watching the world move from a train or a metro, give yourself that silence, even a little while, even the little noise settles. Let that noise settle. Let the thoughts come as they are. Because somewhere in that quiet, there's a version of you waiting, and had been waiting for a long, long time. Honest, unfiltered, present, sharp, piercing, and sometimes the road outside fades into the distance, while the journey within finally begins.